INFJs, often known for their empathetic and diplomatic nature, have their share of dislikes and pet peeves. Here's a note about what INFJs might dislike. 1. Inauthenticity. Inauthenticity is a notable pet peeve for INFJs, stemming from their deep desire for authenticity, honesty, and meaningful connections in their relationships. For INFJs, the need for authenticity goes beyond a mere preference. It's a fundamental value that influences how they engage with the world and the people in it. Let's delve into why inauthenticity can be a significant source of discomfort for INFJs. Intuitive perception. INFJs possess a strong intuitive ability to read people and situations. They often pick up on subtle cues and unspoken emotions. When someone is being inauthentic, it creates a dissonance that INFJs can keenly sense, making them feel uneasy or distrustful. Value of honesty. INFJs highly value honesty as a means of building trust and deepening connections. When they encounter inauthenticity, it feels like a breach of trust, which can be disheartening and disappointing for them. Desire for meaningful relationships. Authenticity is at the core of meaningful connections for INFJs. They crave depth and sincerity in their relationships, and inauthenticity undermines the potential for genuine, enriching interactions. Emotional disconnection. Inauthenticity often leads to a lack of emotional connection, something INFJs actively seek in their relationships. It can leave them feeling emotionally distant or disconnected from the people involved. Strained communication. For INFJs, effective and empathetic communication is essential. Inauthenticity can create barriers to open, honest dialogue, hindering their ability to connect on a deeper level and resolve issues constructively. Conflict with empathy. INFJs are natural empathizers and conflict resolvers. Inauthenticity can lead to conflicts that are harder to resolve, as it challenges their empathetic nature and can make it difficult for them to understand the motivations behind inauthentic behavior. Emotional toll. Dealing with inauthenticity can be emotionally draining for INFJs. It forces them to navigate a world of hidden motives and unspoken truths, which can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. Authenticity as a mirror. INFJs often model authenticity in their own behavior, believing that leading by example can inspire others to be authentic as well. When they encounter inauthenticity, it can feel like a stark contrast to their values, making it harder to relate to or connect with those individuals. Desire for growth. INFJs are committed to personal growth and self-awareness. Inauthenticity hinders this process, as it obscures the true nature of oneself and others. It can be frustrating for INFJs who seek self-improvement and self-discovery. Boundary setting. In response to inauthenticity, INFJs may need to set boundaries to protect their emotional well-being. While this is a healthy practice, it can be challenging for them, as they prefer harmonious relationships without the need for rigid boundaries. 2. Conflict and confrontation. Conflict and confrontation are aspects of life that often evoke mixed feelings in INFJs. Their approach to these challenging situations is nuanced, reflecting their deep desire for harmony and understanding, but also their commitment to authenticity and the pursuit of justice. Let's delve into the complex relationship INFJs have with conflict and confrontation. INFJs tend to avoid conflict whenever possible, as it can be emotionally draining and disrupt their inner harmony. They often prefer peaceful, diplomatic solutions that maintain the well-being of all parties involved. However, this avoidance isn't a sign of weakness but rather a manifestation of their empathetic and peace-loving nature. While INFJs may instinctively avoid conflict, they recognize that it can also serve as a catalyst for personal and relational growth. They understand that confronting issues and disagreements can lead to deeper understanding and stronger connections, and they are willing to engage in constructive confrontation when necessary. Conflict and confrontation can be emotionally taxing for INFJs. They absorb and process emotions deeply, and when faced with conflict, they may experience a heightened sense of stress and anxiety. This emotional turmoil can be challenging to navigate. Their empathetic nature to conflicts, striving to understand the emotions and perspectives of all parties involved. They listen attentively and seek common ground, often acting as mediators or peacemakers in contentious situations. INFJs value authenticity and honesty, and they are willing to confront situations or individuals when they sense inauthenticity or dishonesty. This commitment to authenticity can sometimes lead them to confrontational encounters, even if they would rather avoid them. INFJs have a strong sense of justice and are driven to address situations of inequality, injustice, or harm. When they encounter such scenarios, they are willing to confront the issue head-on, even if it means engaging in uncomfortable conversations. INFJs understand the importance of setting boundaries to protect their emotional well-being. While they may avoid unnecessary conflicts, they are not afraid to assert themselves when their boundaries are crossed, even if it involves confrontation. In confrontational situations, INFJs often employ diplomacy and tact. They choose their words carefully, aiming to maintain respect and civility in the discussion. Their goal is to address the issue while preserving the relationship, whenever possible. After confrontations or conflicts, INFJs require time to process their emotions and thoughts. They may seek solitude to reflect on the situation and find closure or resolution within themselves. INFJs use conflicts as opportunities for self-reflection and personal growth. They examine their own contributions to the situation and seek to learn from the experience, striving to improve their conflict resolution skills and emotional resilience. 3. Disregard for others' feelings. INFJs deeply value empathy and consideration for others' emotions. They dislike individuals who are insensitive or dismissive of others' feelings, as it goes against their core belief in treating people with kindness and respect. 4. Superficial conversations. Superficial conversations are akin to a shallow pool for INFJs, who are often drawn to the depths of meaningful and profound exchanges. These surface-level interactions may not be inherently disliked by INFJs, but they leave them feeling unfulfilled and yearning for more. Here's an exploration of why superficial conversations can fall short of satisfying the INFJ's craving for depth. INFJs thrive on emotional connections in their relationships. Superficial conversations tend to lack emotional depth, leaving INFJs feeling disconnected and unsatisfied. Superficial conversations often revolve around mundane topics such as the weather, gossip, or trivial daily experiences. INFJs prefer discussions that explore deeper subjects like values, dreams, and personal growth. These surface-level interactions miss the opportunity to tap into the INFJ's vast well of knowledge and insights. INFJs have a wealth of intellectual and emotional resources to offer in a conversation, which often remain untapped in superficial exchanges. INFJs value authenticity and vulnerability in their relationships. Superficial conversations tend to lack the authenticity and vulnerability that INFJs seek, making them feel like a mere exchange of pleasantries. INFJs possess a natural curiosity and a hunger for knowledge. They are drawn to conversations that stimulate their intellect and provide them with opportunities for personal growth. Superficial discussions rarely satisfy this intellectual thirst. These conversations often drift away from topics that align with INFJ's core values and interests. 5. Overwhelming noise and crowds. Highly sensitive to stimuli, INFJs may become overwhelmed in noisy, crowded environments. They appreciate quiet and peaceful surroundings and might dislike excessively loud or chaotic situations. 6. Injustice and inequality. INFJs have a strong sense of justice and are passionate about promoting fairness and equality. They dislike witnessing or being part of situations where injustice prevails, whether on a personal or societal level. 7. Lack of empathy. INFJs value empathy and compassion, so they may struggle to relate to individuals who consistently lack empathy or understanding for others' struggles and emotions. 8. Feeling misunderstood. Given their complex and sometimes enigmatic nature, INFJs may dislike feeling misunderstood or not fully appreciated for their unique qualities and perspectives. 9. Rushed decision-making. INFJs prefer to take their time when making important decisions, carefully considering all factors. They may feel uncomfortable or irritated when pressured to make quick choices without adequate reflection. 10. Inefficiency and chaos. INFJs appreciate order, organization, and efficiency. They can become frustrated in chaotic